So this was our Kubernetes dashboard that we have set up in our earlier video. So please refer to the video if you want to see how we can set up the Kubernetes dashboard. So now if I will go to deployments, so here it will show me that there is nothing to display, means no deployment has been sent here. So let us have a look how we can send deployments via Kubernetes. So for this we have to create a deployment.yaml. So as we can see in the documentation of Salesforce dealers, a YAML is given. So let us create our first deployment with this YAML. So let us copy this YAML and let us just paste it. Now file. So I'm naming my file as Nginx deployment YAML. This is our Kubernetes dashboard. So yes, so let me just explain you this YAML. What this YAML is saying, kind deployments means this is a deployment YAML, and name that says Nginx deployment. So this will be our deployment name. Means when we will deploy this particular YAML, so in the deployment we will get a name that will say Nginx deployment, and replicas 3, which means 3 replica sets will be created and 3 pods will be created. Remember guys, number of replicas will be always equal to number of pods. If number of replicas is 3, then number of pods will be 3. If number of replicas is 2, then only 2 pods will be created. And later on, further we have defined the container name and the image name and the port on which this particular application will work. So let us save this configuration. Let us apply this YAML. So we will write kubectl apply -f, then the YAML name. Then we press enter. So as you can see, it is saying deployments.app/nginx deployment created. So as we can see, earlier here was nothing. Now we can see a deployment which says Nginx deployment has been created in our Kubernetes dashboard. If you see carefully in the pods, it is saying 3. It means 3 Nginx pods would have been created. So let us have a look. Let us click on pods. Yes, so here we can see 3 pods have been created. So if I'll go to the replica sets, so here I can see 3 pods are being shown. Okay, so if I want, then I can just reduce the number of pods. For example, suppose it is saying 3 out of 3 pods. Now suppose I only want 2 pods, so I can go click on this 3 dots and I can click on scale. Now here scale I can mention 2 and then I can click on scale. Let us refresh it. Now if I will go to the pods, so after some times, as we can see, they will be rescaled down. Now if you remember, I have told you when we have started the Kubernetes that it is self-healing. If we will delete a pod, that particular pod will be up on its own. And if we will, if we will delete a node, since we have deleted a node in our previous video, so that particular node was already up. So let us try to delete a pod and see whether this pod will be automatically up or not. Let us delete it. Yes. Let us refresh our page. So as we can see, it is saying 5 seconds ago, means our earlier pod was deleted and this is the new pod that has been created. So it is very fast. The pod was deleted and the new pod created very fast, very soon. So if I'll show you the deployments, so if I'll click on edit, I'll go on JSON. This is the JSON, this is the YAML. So in the YAML, as it is showing us replicas 3. So here we can enter 2. Now if I click on update and if I'll refresh, so you can see 2 out of 2 pods. Now if I'll go to the pods, so earlier there were 3, now there are 2. If you want, then you can change them from here, but if you will change them from deployment, then they will be updated very soon. But if you will update them from the replica set, so they might take some time for updating. And since I'm using T2 micro, so the process will be a bit slow because T2 micro comes under free tier. The CPU is less, the RAM is less. But for production, do not use T2 micro. Always use large servers, because if you will do this on large servers, all these operations will be executing very quickly. So let us again try to delete a pod. So let us delete this particular pod and see whether this pod will come up on its own or not. So let us refresh. Now this pod should be automatically be up on its own. So you can see this pod is getting deleted. It says terminated. Let us refresh. It is getting deleted. So let us wait for a while. So since I told you that is on T2 micro, so it might take some time. So till that, let us have a look on the CLI portion. So for listing out our pods, we will execute kubectl get pods. So this will tell us all our running pods in our dashboard of our deployment. So if I'll show you, 2 pods of Nginx are running. So these are the 2 pods of Nginx. So if I'll show you the deployments, we will execute kubectl get deployments. So in deployments will show me Nginx app deployments. So this is the same name. If I'll show you the deployments on my dashboard, so yes, here it is, Nginx app deployment. So that is how we can send the deployments in Kubernetes, and these are the CLI operations. So if I'll show you that now suppose let us I want to delete a pod, so I will execute kubectl delete pod, then I will mention the pod name. So this is my pod ID, or I can say the pod name. Then I will enter it here and I will press enter. Now it is saying pod Nginx app deployment deleted, means this pod has now deleted. So its ID was 574B67, and at the end if you see this was this one, that 2RQ60. So let us have a look. Let us to the pods and see whether this pod has been deleted from the dashboard too or not. So let us refresh. So as you can see, I'm using T2 micro. So that is why the process is slow, but do not use T2 micro in production server, because in production there will be heavy load. So in that case, so as we can see, new pod that has come up 46 seconds ago. So that is how we can send deployments on Kubernetes, and we can delete the pods and we can rescale them, and we can list down the pods with the CLI, which says kubectl get pods. It will list down all our running pods, and if I use kubectl get deployments, it will show us all of our deployments. Now let us create one more deployment. So let us copy our previously deployment.yaml and let us name it like my app deployment.yaml. Now let us edit this. Now here let us mention the name for a deployment. Mention it like my app. So in the application, let us mention it my app. Replicas, let us make it one replica for this. So app name, it should be similar like my app. So all our pods that will be up in our dashboard will be because of this particular YAML. So for the container name, let us mention it like my app only for the demo purpose. And for the image, we have to mention a Docker image name here. So I'll be using this application, this particular image name. So let us just copy the image name and paste it over here. Yes, and this particular application will run on port number 8080. So let us change the port number and save the configuration and apply it. That is kubectl apply -f my deployment.yaml. So what it will do, it will again set up a new deployment which says my app. So let us have a look on the dashboard and see. If I'll click on deployments, so now it should show me 2 deployments. So yes, as we can see, so let us have a look via CLI kubectl get deployments. So 2 deployments have been shown. So let us have a look on the pods, kubectl get pods. So yes, it is saying deployment, so it means that my deployment is getting ready. It might be pulling down, taking the pull of my image. So once it will be done, so our deployment will be here. So let us just pause this video till it gets stable, till it take the pull of my image. So hello guys, I'm back. So since it took almost a minute for taking the pull of my image, so here we can see my app deployment. So if I'll go to the pods, so earlier there were only 2 pods, so this is the new pod of my application. So if I'll do kubectl get pods, so here it is. This is my new application pod. So let us try to enter the pod. So if you remember, as I told you that there is a prerequisite for understanding Kubernetes that you should have knowledge on Docker. So similarly, as we entered in Docker container, similarly in that way we will enter the Kubernetes pods. So there are 2 ways for entering the pods. First one, you can go through the GUI. You can just click on the pod name, and it will show you all the details here, that what is the image name that is being used by this particular pod. So let us just refresh it. So till the cluster is back. So yes, it is back. So as we can see that this is the IP on which this particular pod is running, and this is the pod name, and this is the image name that has been used. So this is similar name as that of our image name. So for entering into the pod, you can see here is an option which says exit into pod. Just click on this option, and now you are inside your pod. So if I will do ls over here, so it will show me all the packages that are there in this particular image. So let us do netstat -nppl to check whether the application is running or not. So netstat command is not found, so no issues. Let us install netstat. Let us execute app update first, and then let us install nettools. That is app install nettools. So now let us have a look. Netstat -nppl. So it will show me a port number 8080, which means that our application is running. So that is how we can exit into the pod using the GUI. Now let us exit the pod using the CLI. So this is our pod ID. So for entering the pod, we will execute kubectl exec-it. Similarly, like Docker, then the pod ID, then /bin/shell, that is the bash for this one. So now we are inside the pod. So let us execute netstat here too. So yes, as we can see, it will show us the application port number, that is 8080. And for coming out of the pod, Control P, Control Q, like we did in Docker. So that is why I told you that Docker should be on your tips for learning Kubernetes. So that is how we can send deployments on Kubernetes. So in our next video, we will see what are Kubernetes service and how we can expose the deployment for accessing them from outside. Now suppose this is my front-end application Nginx. So I want this particular deployment to be accessible from outside of my cluster. So in that case, we will create the service for this. So what is service, that we will see in our next video.